Hello and a big welcome to the channel. I'm the Motorsport Madman and this is the French Grand Prix Friday practice 1. I am just going to do a quick little preview before we get into practice, which starts in about 20 minutes. So I'll do a 15-minute little preview, rundown of the results heading into this race and where I think everyone's going to be on pace-wise. And yeah, so let's jump into it. Welcome in, Drac, to the stream. Welcome in, guys. Right, so first of all, before we jump into this little bit of a 15-minute preview, this is going to be my schedule this weekend. Let me just make sure I've not got the music on too loud. No, it should be alright, Yeah, so this is the schedule for this weekend. So obviously, right now we've got a little bit of a preview and then we'll jump straight into practice 1 in about 15 minutes. Then we've got practice 2, join me at 5 to 4. Obviously, that's starting at 4 o'clock. And then tomorrow we get into the real action. We get into qualifying. That'll start at 3 p.m. UK time tomorrow. I'll be live at 10 to 3 for that one. And then we've got the full Grand Prix live on Sunday. That starts at 2 p.m. I'll be live at 10 to 2. So yeah, if you are new to the channel, if you are a Formula 1 fan, you've got to get yourself subscribed because I'm live not just this weekend, not just this race, but for every single qualifying and every single Grand Prix from the F1 Championship. So yeah, let's get into it. Yes, Chillax, Max, Charles, Lewis, George, is that the order you're going for? Yeah, Red Bull, Ferrari, and then the 2 Mercs. Yeah, it's probably not a bad bet. I'll be getting into the predictions in about 5-10 minutes. But yeah, before that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through. I've got a rundown of the team's results so far. With this is what I normally have on the preview. So we go from the back of the grid to the front of the grid. Just a little bit of a word on each team, how they're doing. And yeah, so obviously we start off with Williams, unfortunately 10th in the championship at the moment, just with the 3 points that Alex obviously got in Miami and Australia. So they haven't, so you know, Alex hasn't been in the points for the last 6-7 races. Latifi yet to get a points finish all season. Can he scrape a point or two by the end of the season? I mean, look at Latifi's last few results. You know, 15th, 16th, 12th, and then a DNF in Austria. Sorry if the light's flickering. I got the telly on. In fact, I might switch that off for now because that's just gonna be flickering. Yeah, that'd be better. Yeah. So yeah, unfortunately, Latifi not really near the points. Not bad P12 in Britain. But yeah, Alex on the other side of the grid as well. Williams drifting away. Are they going to get any more points this season? I don't know. Maybe a lucky a lucky result towards the end of the season. Maybe they get another point or two. But I don't know about Williams this season. It might be another P10 for Williams. Yes, Lewis, welcome to the stream. Just going to do a little 10-minute preview and then we'll jump into FP1. So yeah, next up is 9th place Aston Martin at the moment. They're still on 18 points. They didn't score anything at the Austrian Grand Prix. So they've dropped down to 9th. I think Haas have jumped up 2 places. Obviously, Haas are coming off the back of 2 points finishes with both cars from Britain and Austria. So Haas are up to 7th, leaves Aston Martin down in 9th. And look at the Austrian Grand Prix, 17th for Vettel, 13th for Stroll. Not much good, you know, 18 points. You know, think of it, we're halfway through the season now. This French Grand Prix this weekend, we're in the second half of the season, and to only be on 18 points, 9th in the championship. You know, I said it in other previews. You know, this is probably the team that's taken the biggest step back. Them and McLaren. So you know, it's not going well for Aston. They need to improve. But you know, Vettel had a few good results, didn't he? Look, Vettel's improved a lot in the last few races. I mean, Azerbaijan 6th, that's mega. Canada just outside the points, and a 9th in Britain. You know, Vettel's you know. He's on the up. He's on the up. You know, he had a dodgy start to the season, but he's improving. Now, 8th place AlphaTauri. Is this the biggest disappointment of the season? You know, I was saying Aston Martin, but these guys have really dropped off since last year. They've just not got a hold of the new rules at all. You know, last season Gasly consistently top 6, top 8 finishes. This year, I mean, look at the last 3 results. 14th, DNF, 15th for Pierre Gasly in the last 3 races. On the other side of the grid, Yuki Tsunoda, last 3 results, DNF 14th, 16th. They're just not, they need to be getting in those points consistently. And, you know, apart from, you know, Gasly's mad P5 in Azerbaijan, they've not really got much else to shout about this season. You know, I think Yuki had a good drive in Imola, didn't he? Finishing P7, I remember that one. But other than that, you know, that P5 in Azerbaijan is the highlight of the year, and that had been pretty much normal last year. You know, Pierre Gasly was finishing in those kind of positions regularly. Yes, JJ, welcome to the stream. Just going through a bit of a rundown of the teams before jumping into practice in about 10 minutes. So yeah, next up, they've jumped up a couple of places. It's Haas, up from 9th to 7th now. Look at the last 2 races for Haas. You've got Magnussen, so you look at the GBR round 10. For Magnussen, P10. And for Mick Schumacher, he was 8th. And then so that was Mick Schumacher's first ever points in Formula 1. Then on the back of that, Austria a couple of weeks ago, bang, 8th for Magnussen, 6th for Mick Schumacher. You feel like his Formula 1 career has finally got going. Sorry if the camera's lagging a bit. I feel like it's a bit of like it must look like a puppet with my mouth and the sound not synced up, but I apologise for that. I've got a lot of stuff running on this laptop. The laptop can't really handle the amount of like graphics and stuff I've got going. But yeah, so apologies if the camera's a bit like 2 frames a second. But yeah, they're on a massive upward. I mean, I was saying 2-3 races ago, I was saying they need to get back in the points because they had about 7 races in a row where they weren't in the points at all. Like from Miami to Britain, they didn't score a single point. So now they've had 2 mega races, and I think I saw a thing that Gunther Steiner's he wants 5th in constructors. He wants to challenge for it was either 5th or 6th. But yeah, big targets for Haas now. They've got a decent car, and can they get points in France? Maybe, yeah. I think you know they're on a good form. These guys are not on the better form. This is Alfa Romeo, the 6th now. I think after 2-3 races, I think they were like 3rd or 4th in constructors. I think these guys were 4th in constructors at one point. Alfa Romeo, you know, after Bottas look at Bottas's first 5 races. 6th, yeah, DNF in Saudi Arabia, but look how he started the season. 6th, 8th, 5th, 7th, 6th, 9th. You know, Bottas had a mega start to the season. It's dropped off a little bit. A DNF in Britain and 11th in Austria, just outside the points. And then Zhou Guanyu just with the 5 points. He had a good race in Canada, P8. Obviously, that huge incident at the start of the British Grand Prix. You know, that's put him on the back foot a bit. 14th in Austria, but he's lucky just to be racing at the moment after that one. But yeah, got away with it unscathed, that huge incident. And yeah, these guys have just dropped off a bit, but can they turn it around in France? They need to, because these guys in front of them, Alpine and McLaren, are pulling away quick, because Alpine now P5 but with exactly the same points as McLaren, and I said it a couple of weeks ago, I back Alpine to beat McLaren this year. I back Alpine to bag a P4 in constructors. They're joint 4th now on 81 points, exactly the same as McLaren. Yeah, and look, Fernando Alonso's last few races, you know, Esteban Ocon's been on it since the beginning. Look at how he started the season. 7th, 6th, 7th, then a 14th, then 8th, 7th. You know, Esteban Ocon was on it straight away. Alonso, a bit of a slower start to the season, but look at his last few results now from Monaco onwards. 7th, 7th, 9th, 5th, 10th. They're getting in the points. They're getting both cars in the points consistently. Are McLaren doing that? No. McLaren are a one-man band at the moment, and Alpine are a 2-man band. And if the cars are pretty much evenly matched, which I believe they are, who's going to win that one? It's going to be the team who's getting both cars in the points. And this team are on the up, man. This team are on the up. I mean, look at Ocon 6th in Canada and 5th in Austria. Yeah, these guys are going to beat. These guys are going to beat McLaren. I would love to see a bottom team win a championship result of a budget cap. Yeah, man. Well, like a Braun thing. Like a 2009 Braun GP out of nowhere. Bang, championship. No, I don't think you're going to see a small team win a championship, but I'd like to see them certainly close the gap on the top 3, because this season is sort of like you get those like top 2 teams, bit of a gap. Then Mercedes are sort of making it like a top 3, and then you've got a big gap, and then you've got everybody else, and we need that like 1 second gap or whatever it is to be gone, so that people have got chance of picking up a cheeky podium. We're not seeing as much of that this year. We're not seeing, like, you know, people sneaking onto the podium that wouldn't normally. We've not seen an upset win yet. We've not seen an outsider win this season. You know, I feel like we're due for that. Predictions: Leclerc, Lewis. Oh my God, you've gone all the way down to like 15th or something. Leclerc, Lewis, Max, Sainz, Perez. Yeah. That's provided they all finish, though. They don't always have that kind of reliability. You've got to take that into account, I think. How many races have both Ferraris and both Red Bulls seen the checkered flag? I'd say out of the 11 races, that's happened 3 times. Like, not all 4 of them are finishing every race. You've got to remember that. So, yeah. So, up to 4th placed McLaren then. Clinging on to 4th now on 81 points. Same as Alpine. And, yeah, it's a one-man band. You've got Norris. Look at his season, 7th, 5th, 3rd, 8th, 6th, 9th. He's 6th, 7th in the last 2 races. You know, he's always in the points. Daniel Ricciardo needs to pick up his game. Look at his last few races, 13th, 8th, 11th, 13th, 9th. He's sort of on the cusp of it. Maybe picks up a point every 2 or 3 races. Couple of points every now and then. It's not good enough, especially with Alpine. Both cars in the points consistently. These guys need to pick it up. Well, especially Daniel Ricciardo, man. He's having an absolute hellish season. And other than his win, which was a real oddball win in Italy last year, other than that, I struggle to see what Ricciardo's done the last 3 seasons. You know, he's been on a bit of a struggle, and not just for a few weeks. He's not just out of form, but this has gone on for a few years. That's what's worrying. But yeah, moving on to P3 in constructors, probably where they'll end up at the end of the season, unless they come up trumps with a massive upgrade, which they are bringing an upgrade package to France. But are they too far behind Ferrari and Red Bull already for the championships? I think so. But it could be an interesting second half of the season. Could we have 6 cars fighting for the win at each and every Grand Prix from now on? Maybe. And that's the big hope for me during the second half of this season. We can have 6 cars fighting. But yeah, they're doing well. Obviously, George Russell's arrived on the scene. He's doing absolute madness. You know, apart from his DNF at the British Grand Prix at Turn 1 incident, he's top 5 every week. Hamilton, 3 podiums in a row as well. They're killing it. And Mercedes, dark horses now for France and onwards. P2 then, Ferrari. They're on back-to-back wins. You know, Sainz winning in the British Grand Prix and Leclerc winning in Austria. Ferrari are back on the up, 2nd in the championship. You know, Leclerc back up to 2nd in the championship, overtaking Perez again. So, you know, but he is 38 points behind Verstappen. So he needs to string together 2 or 3 wins to catch Verstappen. These guys leading the championship at the moment. Then it is Red Bull. 1st in constructors. Max Verstappen top of the drivers' championship halfway through the season with how many wins? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins. Out of the first 11, not bad going at all. Even Perez winning in Monaco as well. So, you know, it's a perfect number 1, number 2 driver scenario. There's not much friction. It runs pretty smooth. Ferrari is struggling with that kind of that setup with the drivers where, you know, you need that psychological thing. And Ferrari on a level playing field can cause problems. Whereas Red Bull know, you know, Max is the main man. And that's how it is. Right. That's the team-by-team rundown. Just quickly go through the predictions. So, I have got Magnussen P10, Gasly P9, Bottas P8, Norris P7, Alonso P6. Now, I'm predicting a bit of a rough weekend for Max Verstappen. I'm going P5 Max Verstappen. I'm out there. These predictions, you know, they're called the Madman predictions, and that's because I do make mad predictions, and you're going to see why. You're going to see it gets more crazy from here on in. We've got Perez P4, then we go in Esteban Ocon, home podium. I'd love to see it. That's why I've predicted it. And Esteban Ocon, probably the most underrated driver on the grid. I'm going for Esteban Ocon, home podium. Then I've put Carlos Sainz P2, and I've got George Russell, debut win. Where's Hamilton? Where's Leclerc? I've got them as not finishing the race. DNFs, I've got Leclerc, Hamilton and Yuki Tsunoda. I'm going a George Russell way. I'm going bold. There's no point in predicting a Red Bull 1-2, Ferrari 3-4, Mercedes 5-6, is there? If I could predict that every week and get it nearly bang on, But I'm not about that life. We're going to predict something out of the ordinary. I'd love to see a Russell, Sainz, Ocon podium. I just feel like it's gone too smooth for Lewis recently. And fortunes ebb and flow in Formula 1. And just when you think you've cracked it, that's when it falls apart a little bit. So I'm predicting Lewis DNF. He's not had a DNF for this season. Not for a long time. But yeah, pole position, Charles Leclerc I've gone for. But an engine blow up because Ferrari 2022. Yeah, because there's no more explanation needed. But yeah, right, we're just about to jump into practice then. Let me get the TV on, and then we can get on with practice 1. Well, I hope you all enjoyed the preview anyway. Well, yeah, let's get into a bit of FP1. It'd be good to see the cars back on track. It feels like ages since the last race, actually. But let me get the right channel on. Right, let's go. Who's up for a bit of FP1? Right, let me get on the right screen. First practice session in France. It's been a while. What are we saying about the actual intro? I hope the sound was on and all that. But yes, we've integrated the real intro. Hopefully we it's on the game, so we should be right. Right, let's get the live timings up. Let's go. Oh yeah, we got De Vries as well. I was like, who's Dev then? I seen Dev and I was like, who's Dev? Yeah, we've got De Vries stepping in for Lewis Hamilton as well this weekend. Right, headphones on. Let's go. Yes, Keith, welcome to the stream. Welcome to a bit of practice 1 in France. I'm actually buzzing, It feels like weeks since the last race, honestly. 33 degrees as well it is. And mate, them Ferrari engines are going to be struggling on this one. Right, headphones on, let's go. Right, the live timing should be on. Ooh, yeah, Ferrari coming off the back of back-to-back wins. Sainz winning the British Grand Prix and Leclerc winning in Austria. Ferrari are back on it. If they get the reliability back, we can see. I can see Ferrari fighting Red Bull all the way through to the end of the season. What did we think to the chucking in the actual intro? Reckon I'll get in trouble for that. Oh, he's number 19, De Vries. Here he is. Nick De Vries then, Mercedes test driver. I think he drives for Mercedes in Formula E. I mean, I don't follow Formula E at all, so I might be wrong. I know he was in Formula E. He might not be anymore. To be honest with you, I don't follow that at all. And Robert Kubica as well in the Alfa Romeo. I don't know who's he stepping in for. I'll work it out. Let me see. So you've got Zhou, so he must be stepping in for Bottas. So Zhou Guan Yu and Robert Kubica for FP1 as well. So there's a couple of drivers being swapped out, but I've never seen in the 17 years that Lewis Hamilton has raced in this sport, I've never seen him been replaced for an FP1 session before. But I think it's part of the regulations this year that you've got to miss. I think each driver has got to miss at least one Friday practice 1 session throughout the season. So they're obviously using that for Lewis Hamilton today in France. Mercedes obviously bringing a new upgrade package as well this weekend. Right, let me. Oh, I feel this feels so laggy. Sorry if the camera's laggy and the sound is a bit out of sync. Right, I am gonna just try something wild. Let me have a look at this. No, I don't know if that's gonna work. I'll be alright. Leclerc on pit exit then. Most people coming straight out of the garage as soon as the session started, actually. There's Anthony Davidson back in the com box. I've not heard him for a while. Davidson and Di Resta this weekend they've got. Look at these Paul Ricard bucket hats. So I'd have one of them, me. Like a proper retro style. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see who's on it. To see, have Mercedes now? Is it game on for Mercedes now to the end of the year? You know, is recent form, you know, indicative of the rest of the season, or you know, is the pace of the British Grand Prix a bit of a one-off? You know, because I'd love to see it game on now for these last 10, 11 races of 6 cars fighting for pole, 6 cars fighting for each win. Would be fantastic for the season. Even if Mercedes are too far behind points wise for the championships, just to get involved, just to be in the scrap for the win. You know, it's been a long time since we've had 6 cars that can fight for the win. You know, you could probably go back to 2012 before you can have like 3 teams potentially winning each race. Because since then, you know, you've had mostly Mercedes domination. Then you've had Mercedes against Red Bull, Mercedes against Ferrari maybe in like 17. But 3 teams? Not for a decade. Not for a decade. So I'd love that. Alain Prost in the Ferrari garage. He did race Ferrari, didn't he, Prost, at the end of his career? I don't know if he raced from twice in his career. I'm not sure, but he went to Ferrari at the end of his career, didn't he, Prost? Like 93. But here's Mick Schumacher then on circuit, fresh off the back of 2 points finishes. My boy Mick Schumacher, he's and he has, and this is what they're saying on Sky as well. He's stepping it up now. You know, he's had, I'll be honest with you, you know, Mick's my boy, and, you know, he's had 18 months of being pretty anonymous in this sport, I can't lie. You know, he's had, I said it the other week, Mick Schumacher's had more television coverage in the last 2 races than he's had in the previous 18 months. You know, he feels like he's arrived now. It feels like he's arrived. I'm so happy for it. Because I was thinking, you know, if he'd have said like 3 races ago, I'd have been thinking like, will Mick even be here next year? Is this it? Is it just going to be a 2-season thing and then he's gone? But nah, he's in the game now. He's in the game. P8 is at Silverstone, P6 in Austria. He's in it now. We're going. Yes, welcome to the stream, Cara. Bit of Friday practice 1. And look, Lewis looks on. Having a laugh and a joke with Toto Wolff. When was the last time Lewis missed a session? Well, he missed Bahrain, didn't he, last year? He missed that outer loop race because he was ill. But when was the last time Lewis has been like could race and hasn't? Yeah, or could be in a session and isn't. First time I think it's happened. You know, I was going to say like, you know, it's easy to say, oh, you know, Mercedes looking to the future and all that. I don't think De Vries is particularly like a young driver anymore. I don't know how old Nick De Vries is, but he's been around for a while. I guess I'd say he's got to be like 26, 27, hasn't he? He's not like a 19-year-old kid, De Vries. I might be wrong. He might be like 23 or something. I don't know, but it feels like he's been around for a while, Nick De Vries. Yeah, I remember when he was in F2, but that's a good while ago. Probably about 5 years ago. Let me have a look at this again. If I can get this to work. 20, so I'm just trying to do something. Norris complained of his throttle pedals. Doesn't feel right. Oh, we've got this pedal cam. Lando has all the Lando has all these experimental cameras in it. He has the helmet cam that's like right next to his eye. He's got pedal cam. He's like, yeah, chuck them all in. Oh, Verstappen setting the early pace on a 35.7. 1.7 seconds quicker than Leclerc, but obviously we're only 8 minutes into the very first practice session, so to say it's early days is an understatement. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. Right, let me have a look at this live timings now. There we go. Yeah, apologies for that. I didn't have the live timings like on the screen properly. But should be working now. Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris, Russell, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Latifi, Stroll, Sainz, De Vries, yeah. De Vries goes 5th. Wait there. Oh, I'm going to have to refresh it. I think. As is with Formula 1 live timings. Not the most reliable thing in the world. Perez goes 2nd now, so Red Bull 1-2 early on in the weekend. Is that a sign of things to come? Right, let me minimise that. Right, there we go. There we go. What we're saying about that. Can't see P20, which is annoying. Top 19. If you're in P20, you're not on my list. Oh, De Vries right over the exit curb there. Not what you want to be doing, especially with these 2022 cars. Scraping the floor over the serrated curb edge, and Lewis Hamilton looks on thinking, what are you doing, bro? He's not happy with that. Look at Lewis's face. He's like, nah. You're in my car bouncing over the curbs, like scraping a good few centimetres off my diffuser. Nah, mate. No, what he wants is it to be stood in the garage watching De Vries. Will definitely feel weird for him. So yeah, the live timing should be up to date now. We should be rock and roll. Perez over a second behind. But yeah, early days, isn't it? You've even got Latifi in the top 10. In fact, Alfa Romeo haven't even, Alfa Romeo, Alpine, Albon and Gasly haven't even set a lap yet. So we've got 6 cars yet to even set a proper time. And it's hot as well, 33 degrees. How's the TV got 10th fastest? Oh, because we're only 10 minutes into the very first practice session, so these lap times are not representative at all. Let's see where he ends up at the end of the session. And even that's too early to tell at the end of FP1. But yeah, it's just virtually like the first bank of laps of the weekend, just to sort of get up to speed. So yeah, you can't read into anything at the moment. I mean, you can't really read into anything until tomorrow morning, to be honest with you. Once you get into like FP3, they start doing. I mean, you can look into some of the long run pace that'll come. Maybe in FP2 this afternoon, which I will be live for. That starts at 4 o'clock. I'll be live 5 to 4. Watching some FP2. You can start to look at the long run pace in FP2, but it's still not really clear till you get to practice 3 on Saturday. See some qualifying runs. Latifi up to P7. Rapid. No, and then we really see what they've got in qualifying tomorrow afternoon. But yeah, they're just talking about crashing round here. Yeah. You're going to have a bit of a job to crash around the Circuit Paul Ricard. You'd have to go some, because the runoff areas are entire car parks of runoff areas here. It's one of the easier circuits, put it that way. Oh wow, yeah, that unloaded inside tyre on the Mercedes up in the air. Not the first I've ever seen that, but it's not ideal. But yeah, Verstappen, only man in the 34s, 15 minutes into the first session. So he's come out of the box hot as Max Verstappen, so Perez as well. Leclerc within a second, and then 2 McLarens. They need a good weekend, McLaren, though, especially Daniel Ricciardo. He needs a good weekend. As we go to helmet cam on Pierre Gasly. I think he said this is home race as well, of course, for Gasly. And home race for Ocon as well. I've got an Ocon podium in my predictions. I'd love to see that. A lot of people forget, Ocon's won a race. Ocon won the Hungarian Grand Prix. How mad is that? Which is the next race as well, by the way. Back-to-back races this point of the season. We go straight from France to Hungary next weekend, and then summer break until the end of August. I think it's Spa at the end of August, which hopefully isn't the last Belgian Grand Prix. They're struggling with the contract, aren't they? That would be a madness. We need the Belgian Grand Prix. But yeah, nice little onboard footage there with Pierre Gasly, but Leclerc back in the pits. I don't know what that logo is. If anyone knows what that star logo is on the Ferrari's halo this weekend, I've not seen that before. If anyone knows what that is, let me know. I love little details like that, you see. And yeah, that's definitely new. Yes, Aways, how we doing, bro? I'll be going Monster Game. Yeah, no worries, Aways. Take it easy, bro. Thanks for popping in, even if it is just for a minute. I appreciate you. Vettel's been off the track then. Exit turn 9. Replay with Pierre Gasly into turn 8 then. Yeah, just rear end a little bit dodgy, and the plank scraping on the floor as well. Not seeing much porpoising these days though. I feel like that's near enough dialed out now. I feel like teams have got on top of that. I mean, look at this shot with down the back straight then, with Max Verstappen and is this Leclerc? Yeah, porpoising's not a thing anymore. Thank God. Have any plans for your Formula 1 team career? Stay with Williams for season 1 and then move alive for season 2. I'll either move to Aston Martin, Alpha Tauri, or Alfa Romeo. And towards the end of the season, I'll put a little vote out in chat, you know. And yeah. But we stay with Williams. I could have done a mid-season change. I mean, maybe I should have done that. Maybe I should have done a mid-season swap because Williams is a bit dead in it. But no, we stuck with it. We'll stick with it. For anyone who doesn't know, in between the real life Grand Prix, I do a bit of a Formula 1 game career mode where I've got the settings on pretty difficult, and driving for Williams and the F1 game, and it's quite a challenge. Although I did get P11 at the last race yesterday, which was ridiculous because in pretty much every single race I've been last. So P11 felt like a win yesterday. But yeah, that's just the career mode videos in between when the real life Formula 1's not on. But yeah. But now we're on to the real life stuff, which is a million times better than messing about on a video game. So yellow flag sector 1. Oh, Perez is off. What's happened there? He's obviously lost the car, but you do something to hit a wall around here, and he hasn't done that. Gone off onto the blue stripes, which is... I mean, those blue stripes, this is not good, is it? A replay with Sergio Perez then. Yeah, towards turn 3. Oh, loses the... Whoa, takes a lot of curb. Wow. He nearly did hit the wall as well. So he took too much curb in turn 3 and just lost the rear end, spun round, spun off onto those blue stripes and nearly hit the wall. I think actually those blue stripes are like... what's the word for it? Like abrasive. Those blue stripes are like purposely abrasive to slow the cars down. And then even in some corners, like in the high-speed corners, they'll have blue stripes and then red stripes. And I think the red stripes are even more abrasive to really slow the cars down. So it's like their version of a gravel trap, I suppose. These like abrasive stripes. Obviously, if you spin off and you skid in the tyres over them, you're probably wrecking the tyres. As you can see, the patches on Sergio Perez's tyres there, not good at all. But yeah. Oh, they're gonna cut to adverts here. But yeah, Red Bull 1-2 at the moment. Leclerc 3rd, Russell 4th. I mean, De Vries not doing bad, is he? Half a second. No, what's De Vries done? Yeah, half a second away from George Russell's time. I mean, obviously not pushing it to the limit. This is FP1 session, but Nick De Vries up there in P6. Straight off the bat it's not a bad thing. I feel like the camera's so laggy. I do apologise. I've probably got too much stuff running. Let me go on this. But yeah, we've got both McLarens as well in the top 10 early on. 40 minutes to go in FP1. And Red Bull straight out of the box, straight 1-2. Aston Martin 30th and 14th. Ocon 15th. He needs to. Come on. Come on, Esteban. I've got him on the podium. These are my predictions for this weekend. Madman predictions. I don't call them that for nothing. Magnussen 10th. Gasly 9th. Bottas 8th. Norris 7th. Alonso 6th. Then I'm predicting. Listen, Verstappen's probably going to win, but I like to make these predictions a little bit kooky, a little bit different. So I put Verstappen 5th, obviously. Perez 4th, then Esteban Ocon home podium. I'd love to see that. And then Sainz P2 and a George Russell victory. Would be mad. And I just feel like Lewis has had it pretty smooth so far. And, you know, fortunes ebb and flow in Formula 1, and maybe it's his turn for a DNF and Russell win. It would be mad. If Mercedes win, that would be game on for the rest of the season. Even if Mercedes are like in contention, it's like game on, isn't it? And you could argue they were in contention in the British Grand Prix. No, Lewis was he was hunting down those Ferraris at one point. I was thinking, you know, there was a few laps where I was thinking, can Lewis do this? And then obviously it kind of unfolded against him a little bit. But yeah, Lewis with I think he's coming off the back of 3 podiums in a row. You know, Russell obviously back in top 5 every time he finishes a race, so they've definitely made the most out of it. You know, they might not be winning races or the championship this year, but they've definitely made the most out of what they've got. And if they can, you know, if they turn up this weekend on the Rapid, still 11 races to go, you know, they'll have to win the next 5 or 6 in a row to put themselves in contention. But, you know, crazy things have happened. Honda went bust. Ross Brawn bought it and they won a championship. Well, Honda didn't go bust, but Honda pulled out of Formula 1. You know, crazier things have happened. But no, I think they're too far behind, isn't it? If Mercedes had caught up after 4 or 5 races, then yeah, then you'd have had a chance. But even if they catch up now, you know, you got Max on 208 points, Russell 128. You know, what's that? 70 points behind. It's not impossible, is it? Yes, Denver. How we doing, bro? You want a wavy one? I'll be joining you tonight. Probably like 6 p.m. ish UK time. I'll jump on with you, lad. Have a few beverages. Well, a few. A lot. We're on it. I'll be on it later. I'll join you. But bit of Friday practice in it, Denver first. You know what I mean. Got to rep the Friday practice 1 and Friday practice 2. I love it. Got Nicholas Latifi P10, mate. Hold the front page. Williams 10th and 12th. Yes, lad. We're on it. Friday night thing. Look at that. Daniel Ricciardo's last 5 races. What was that? It wasn't good. It wasn't good, was it? It was like 13th, 11th, 9th, 13th. Like, oh, God. I think Daniel Ricciardo, right, he'll be relieved that Pierre Gasly signed with AlphaTauri for next year. If I was Daniel Ricciardo, I'd be thinking, Well, that's one guy. That's one guy off my back. Because I think Pierre Gasly could have replaced Ricciardo for next season. In fact, I was saying that's going to happen, and then come out the following week, Gasly's staying. I wonder if he's had a conversation with McLaren, and McLaren said no, we're looking at keeping Daniel, and so then Pierre went, right then, I'll stay put where I am, because he'd be mad if Gasly hasn't talked to McLaren. He's missed a trick, definitely. But yeah, like we were saying a couple of weeks ago, big second half of the season for Ricciardo. I tell you what, that McLaren, I don't know if it's just me, or does it have a different livery every week? That's got a slightly different livery this week. Those stripe, that blue and orange stripe going up the side is different, and the sponsorships are different. Oh, he's spun. Oh, Ricciardo's off. Whoa. Full slide out onto the blue stripes there. I thought he'd fully spun it then. Sound of that. That was mad. He fully lost the rear end then. That was in the... what corner was that? It's right at the end of the lap. Was that turn 14? He lost it there. Or turn 12. Here we go. Here we got a replay on board with Daniel Ricciardo then. Right, so he's in turn 12. That's weird, just like understeer. But that sounded mad off board. You could hear the tyres squealing. Jesus. This understeers right off the circuit. Yeah, that livery's definitely been tweaked. Back of the grid for Sainz. I'm waffling on here and there's big news. Wow, so on the back of that fire in Austria that Sainz had, it sounds like he's going to have to take new engine... Well, obviously he's going to be taking new engine components. Everything was charred like a barbecue. But that probably means that what Ted Kravitz is saying, it probably means that Ferrari will take loads of new parts and they'll just take a full... Like every component for the engine, they'll just take the full lot and start from the back of the grid. So yeah, expect Sainz to start from the back. So that's my P2 prediction in the bin. Right, we'll go back to predictions, and yeah, I'm gonna just edit that. And Sainz, you've been deleted, bro. I'm sorry. You're starting at the back. It's game over. It's gone. You're gone. Now, that obviously throws a spanner in the works. That's Ferrari's big problem. That is Ferrari's big problem this season. You know, you can have a quicker car as you want. You can be the fastest car on the grid. But if you're popping an engine every race, you ain't winning any championships. I don't care who you are. You know, I sound like a broken record, but I say every week that I've never seen championship contenders with such poor reliability before. Never. On both, with Red Bull as well. I mean, Perez broke down in Canada. What was even the problem? I don't even know what the problem was, but I feel like Red Bull have had 3, 4 DNFs, 5 DNF maybe. I feel like Ferrari have had 5 or 6, 7 in the first 11 races. It's crazy. It's crazy. I've never seen championship contenders with such poor reliability. I mean, I remember Red Bull in like in the Sebastian Vettel days, like Red Bull, like 2010 or 11, having like dodgy reliability. I think it was 2010. Red Bull threw a few races away due to poor reliability, like 12 years ago. I've not seen it since. And it is mad as well, because as much as the aerodynamics have changed for this season, as much as the whole philosophy of the aero and all that side of it has changed massively, the engines, as far as I know, it's a complete carryover. There might be little tweaks that, you know, but as far as I know, like, the engine side of it, it's a full carryover from last year. There's not much different. Maybe the way it's packaged with the new bodywork slightly different, but why? I don't understand why the engines are so prone to issues this year as opposed to last year, when it's not really changed. It's not like we've got a new engine formula. It's the same thing. But it's just, you know, I was saying before, how many times have we had both Ferraris and both Red Bulls see the checkered flag in a race? I'd say out of the first 11 races, 3 times that we've seen both Ferraris and both Red Bulls finish. There's always seems to be at least one of those top 4 that don't finish the race every week. Crazy. But yeah, 28 minutes to go in FP1 as De Vries goes third fastest. 1.1 seconds off the pace. Camera immediately cuts to Lewis Hamilton watching on from the garage. But yeah, Nick De Vries up to P3. Oh, apologies to live timing. I've not got it on the screen. There we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, so we've got Sainz is quickest as well. While I've been waffling on about nothing. You've got Sainz on a 34.2. 78 thousandths of a second quicker than Max Verstappen now. Game on for the weekend. Game on for the weekend. You know, I'd take that as a gap. 78 thousandths of a second between the top 2. De Vries a full 1.1 seconds off that in third place. As Russell beats that, goes P3 on a 35.2. So he's still a second off. I feel like that's slightly concerning. I feel like that's slightly concerning for Mercedes. To I don't know how fresh. I don't know what tyres Russell and De Vries are on there. Well, Russell especially, you know, being the full race driver, his lap times are obviously more representative. You know, Nick De Vries. Not saying that he's a bad driver, but he's just not got that same experience in these cars. But yeah, George Russell being a second off, like, it's very early in the weekend, like we're half an hour into FP1, and I get that, but a second? Gunter Steiner, a man on the pit wall this weekend. Haas coming off the back of 2 mega races, by the way. Back-to-back double points finishes for Haas. Have they ever done that before, by the way? Did they even do that in, like, 2016? I don't think so. I wonder if, in fact, that's a good little thing. I don't think Haas have ever got back-to-back double points finishes before, where you've got both cars in the points 2 races in a row. They've probably not done that. So fair play to Haas, especially after having like 6 or 7 races where they didn't score any points. Mick Schumacher's arrived as we see Max Verstappen bouncing over the curbs in turn 9. Wow. Yeah, you don't be going over that curb too much. But yeah, it's Sainz quickest. Mick Schumacher at the bottom, 6 seconds off the pace. Come on, Mick. No, he's obviously not set a representative lap, which is a bit concerning. 35 minutes into the session to not set a proper lap yet. Stroll and Kubica 3.5 seconds off the pace. Kubica obviously stepping in for Valtteri Bottas just for this session. Bottas will be back in his car for FP2, as will Lewis. Will be back in his car for FP2 in a few hours. I'll be live for that, by the way, 5 to 4 for a 4 o'clock start for FP2. But yeah, everyone out on circuit apart from Gasly, Ricciardo, Zhou and Norris. 16 cars out on circuit with 24 minutes to go in FP1. Need to get the laps in, especially this heat as well. Too many drivers, not enough cars since Anthony Davidson yet. A lot of young drivers queuing up for a seat in Formula 1, not least Oscar Piastri, who should be in F1 this year. On the sidelines, but you can't be on the sidelines next year. I think you've got to put Piastri in with Alex Albon at Williams next season. If they don't, you can't have 2 years on the sidelines. And it doesn't look like Alonso's going to retire at Alpine, does it? You know, Alonso's on I was going to say form of his life, but no. Those Ferrari days from 2010 to 13 would put that theory in the bin. But he's on good form, put it that way. Alonso's on great form. And, you know, Piastri ain't going to find a seat at Alpine next year. You know, Alonso might be 40 years of age, but he's still got the pace. But Piastri's got to be in Formula 1, you know? And if Williams can afford to have Albon and Piastri, they've got to go for it. Because obviously Nicholas Latifi brings a big budget with him. I think. So, if Williams can afford to get rid of Latifi, do it. You know, I'm sorry, Nicky, but you've had your chance. Verstappen purple in Sector 1, then fastest of anybody, if you don't know what purple means. In Formula 1. Anyway, in Formula 1 terms. And fastest in the middle sector. It's looking like a pretty quick lap for Max Verstappen. We had briefly had a yellow flag there. Maybe someone just going off circuit and rejoining. But yeah, Verstappen round turn 11. Oh, and he's off wide over the curb. Yeah, he's blown it. Yeah, too greedy on the power there and the exit of turn 11. That long right-hander, it's quite difficult to get that right. And he went way wide over the exit curb. It'd still be probably a relatively quick lap. I wonder if he'll still be quickest despite that. DRS flinching there, having to open it twice, and crosses the line, and goes 2.5 tenths quicker than Carlos Sainz and puts it P1. Hello, Samantha. Welcome to the stream. Last 20 minutes of Friday practice 1. Thank you for joining. And yeah, Verstappen just goes quickest, despite the big mistake at turn 11. So let's have a look. So he's got time in hand. So he's a little bit wide on the apex. Yeah, oh God, you don't want to be sending the car over that exit curb either. That's brutal. Oh, look at that. Bouncing over that curb. Wow. Yeah, just maybe just tried to carry too much speed for that turn 11. It's quite tricky. And yeah, just chucked him out wide. Still goes quickest. Leclerc improves as well, but goes second. Meanwhile, 83 thousandths of a second off of Max Verstappen's time. The 1 minute 34.021 is the fastest. Alonso goes P8 now. Albon's P7 with 20 minutes to go. That's decent. George Russell goes P4 now. They feel like they're these are the fastest. These are the fastest times of the session now. Tsunoda goes 12th. What's that logo? Does anybody know what that white star with the blue outline logo is? Is it like an Avengers thing? But it's on Charles Leclerc's crash helmet, and it's on the Ferrari Halo this weekend. What's that? Is it a new sponsor? Is it a charity? Is it a movie campaign? Who knows? I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I just love little details like that. I want to know what it is. Yeah, Anthony Davidson talking about 6 cars fighting for the win. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that. 6 cars fighting for the win. It's golden egg stuff in Formula 1, that. It really is. Are we on for that? I don't know. I wouldn't say so at the minute. We're judging by George Russell being over a second off the pace. Um, But you got the top two within a tenth of a second. You know, who needs a 6-car victory? Who needs a 6-car fight when you've got Verstappen and Leclerc separated by less than a tenth? You know, take that. 18 minutes to go in FP1. I tell you what, they go wide around the outside there. They almost go off the circuit. In turn 6. Yeah, they almost, on the exit of turn 6, they're almost off the circuit there. Well, the two wheels fully off the circuit, and they're right on the limit of what's allowed there in the exit of turn 6. Vettel goes 8th then. Albon improves, goes 6th. What's going on? We've got Albon top 6. I mean, it's FP1, but that's decent. That's decent. You know, 1.4 seconds off Max Verstappen in a Williams. You take it. You know, they might be running low fuel and whatever. You know, that might be full qualifying trim, but anyway, it's still decent. Go on, Alex. Pierre Gasly goes P4 then. Oh, they're no. That's good. Good luck from Gasly. Obviously, AlphaTauri not having a great season so far, but what is this thing? This flipping powered by AWS, these stats, man. Average time, I don't understand this. So AWS stats are saying that Red Bull and Ferrari are evenly matched. Mercedes, what, half a second off? I don't understand what this. Mercedes half a second off. Alpine, they've got Alpine as being 4th quickest, 9 tenths of a second off. AlphaTauri 1.1, Haas 1.2, McLaren 1.2. I don't ever trust this, you know. Williams 1.7 off. Yeah, but Albon's within us. I don't know, man. I don't know. How do they work this stuff out? Computers and that. I don't know if I trust this AWS stats. They're the ones that do all this striking distance, 3 laps. And it's like, yeah, but that's based on how quick he's catching him now, but that doesn't take into account tyre wear and stuff. I never trust all that stuff. But yeah, they're on advert mode on Sky, and yeah, they just leave me hanging. You know what I mean? They leave me hanging. Why have I got my hair sticking up there? You've got Latifi. What's the gap between Latifi and Albon then? 35.4. Oh my god. Are you telling me Alexander Albon's like 1.6 seconds quicker than Latifi? 35.4. He's like 1.7 seconds. What? You can't have a gap to your teammate of 1.6 seconds. And I think I saw a bit of a news flash up the other day that Latifi will be in the new spec Williams as well, so no excuses. I think they've managed to build 2 of those upgrade packages. It's only taken them another couple of races. But yeah, Williams were running like 2 different spec of car for the last couple of races, and I said this at the time. It brings into question a bit of a grey area, which is how identical to each other's do the 2 cars have to be in one team. So, for example, what's to stop Mercedes going down one development route with one car and one development route with another car. What's to stop that? Because Williams were running entirely different side pods, and probably more than just side pods. Running an entirely different package with Alex's car to Latifi's car. Now Latifi's got the new car, but where's the limit with that? How far can you go with that? You know, what if Mercedes one day decided, right, sorry FIA, we've only had time to build one upgrade package, and then you had one Mercedes looking like a Red Bull and one Mercedes going down there, and then they've got like a direct on-track comparison. What's to stop that? I don't. It opens a bit of a can of worms, that, I think. Like, yeah, it's one thing having like one driver with a little bit of a newer front wing and the other driver that hasn't got that yet. Yeah, a little tweak to the front wing. How far can you take that? You know, Williams were there with two different cars. I'd be asking the question. If I was Toto Wolff, I'd be asking the questions. How far can we push this? You know, I'd be turning up at the next race. Russell's car with like full Red Bull's side pods, a full, complete different direction. Why not? Williams done it. Just say, oh, sorry, we haven't had time to build two of them. Oh, we've only got one. Best of both worlds. Answer that one. I mean, you're probably not allowed to do that, but I'd be testing that theory out. Yes, Anto. Yeah, not too bad. Hopefully get a few in for the proper sessions on Saturday. Qualifying at 3 PM. I'm live at 10 to 3 for quali. Get the proper sessions underway. Yeah, we get a few in for that, and then for the full Grand Prix on Sunday as well. That's when I would go full commentary mode, and rather than just waffling on about nothing, we're actually talking about on-track racing. Can't wait for it. But yeah, we're back. Back on the live action, and Leclerc goes quickest then on a 33.9. First man into the 33s is Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. Cut to Mick Schumacher in the Haas. Go on, Mick. But yeah, Leclerc quickest. Just under a tenth quicker than Max Verstappen now. Sainz 0.3 off that pace, and then Mercedes in fourth, Russell in fourth, a full second off. I'd say that's slightly concerning now at this point with 11 minutes to go in FP1. On board with Mick Schumacher around turn 11. Long turn 11. Doesn't seem all that stable, really. It doesn't seem that quick. Understeering, you can't get anywhere near the apex in turn 11, turn 12. Oh, wow, that's a completely different line than I take in the F1 game, tell you that. Sticks to the inside there in turn 13. DRS on for Mick Schumacher and across the line. Doesn't improve. Where is Mick? Oh, he's 15th and didn't improve. 2 seconds off the pace, Mick Schumacher. Well, Haas in general, 2 seconds off the pace. Underrated stream. Oh, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Obviously new on the scene. I only just started doing this season, so obviously I don't expect it to be mega, in the first season that I'm doing this. But you never know. Give it 2 or 3 seasons, and a few other people might find us, and we can grow. Check back in 2026. Maybe we're balling. Maybe I'll hit 1,000 subs by then. No, I'm new on the scene, but I appreciate the underrated's a compliment, isn't it? Just like Esteban Ocon, underrated. But yeah, no, I appreciate you. Welcome in. Hope you come back for the proper sessions, because when I get onto full race mode, I'll give David Croft a run for his money. I tell you that. I'll tell you, if with that turn 1 in the race, I'll give flipping Murray Walker a run for his money. Oh yeah, none of this waffling on trying to fill an hour. But yeah, it's looking close between Ferrari and Red Bull anyway. That's what we want. But I was hoping Mercedes would be closer than this. I mean, we'll see what they do this afternoon in FP2, but a second off, really? De Vries a second and a half off the pace, but I don't expect him to jump in and be rapid anyway. Onboard replay with Pierre Gasly. I can't say Gasly's name without going Gasly anymore. It's like a tick. It's like a bad habit that I've got into. But yeah, he goes wide, same place as Verstappen did, exit at turn 11 over that curb. And yeah, if you go too wide on that curb, mate, you're fully bouncing, and you don't be bouncing over the curbs in these 2022 cars. It's not good for the floor, and the floor is absolutely critical. New side pods, new engine cover. What's this? Oh, right. So McLaren come with the big upgrades. New side pods, new little tweaked livery as well. Them two stripes there that we're zooming in on right now. That was different. But yeah, new side pods, new floor. Upgrade package on the McLaren. They're sitting 7th and 10th at the moment. It is only FP1, of course. So you can't read too much into it. But McLaren need an upgrade package, man, especially with Alpine. Alpine are coming strong, man. Alpine are strong. The last few races especially. And they're level on points now. Alpine and McLaren both on 81 points, tied for 4th in Constructors. So, McLaren do need the upgrade package. Ted Kravitz saying it's only on Daniel Ricciardo's car as well. This is this thing about they're only building one upgrade package and leaving the other car as is. How far can you push that? Aren't the cars meant to be identical? It's a bit of a grey area, all this. Yes, Tax, welcome to the stream. Yo. Welcome in, brother. You're just in time to catch the end of this Friday Practice 1 session. That'd wreck your day, wouldn't it, if you miss FP1? No, with 6 minutes to go. And it's Ferrari leading Red Bull, leading Ferrari on the timing screens, but it's really close at the front. That's what we want, as it has been all season, to be fair, with Ferrari and Red Bull. As we see Antonio Giovinazzi, or they you say Giovinazzi. I don't back that. I always backed a Giovinazzi over a Giovinazzi, but potato. But yeah, Giovinazzi is the Ferrari test driver / reserve driver, I think, at this point. Obviously being replaced at Alfa Romeo from last season by Zhou Guanyu. I think that's right, because I'd say Bottas has replaced Raikkonen and Zhou Guanyu has replaced Giovinazzi. I think that's how it's gone, isn't it? That's what's happened. So, yeah, Giovinazzi on the sidelines these days. I remember Giovinazzi leading the Singapore Grand Prix, Just a bit of useless information there. You did, though. I think only for like a lap or two. But, yeah, Giovinazzi did lead the Singapore Grand Prix, so get in. Mad the stuff I remember about this sport. Little tidbits and that I just remember from years gone by. Did you see Danny Rick's tweet last week? Yes, I did. About him, about all the speculation on him being replaced, and that he's signed. He's got a contract for next season, and he's staying, and he intends to see the contract through, and he's had assurances that I mean, a contract's great until it isn't. A contract's great until you're underperforming every single week, and they could just pay him off and say, "Yeah, thanks for your services, Daniel, but here's 10 million. See you later." But no, I think they'll keep him. I think, in all honesty, I think they'll keep him for next season, especially with Gasly signing an extension with AlphaTauri. I think if Gasly wasn't signed up by now, I'd be thinking, But the fact that Gasly's decided to stay, are McLaren really going to take a gamble and put, like, who did they have driving the car the other day? Colton Herta or something, or who was it? Was it an American driver from IndyCar? I'm sure that Pato O'Ward, isn't he part of the McLaren young driver program as well? But are they going to gamble with someone like a Pato O'Ward, or like was it Colton Herta or something like that they tried in the car the other day? Are they going to take a gamble with that, or are you going to stick with Daniel Ricciardo, 7-time Grand Prix winner? I think 7 or 8-time Grand Prix winner, and sort of work with him and try and improve him. You're probably going to stick with Danny Ricky. Better the devil I suppose. But there's Norris right behind Latifi in turn 10. You're going to be careful. It is only a Friday practice session, boys. Dives down the inside. I didn't know that corner had a name. Anthony Davidson's just given turn 11 a full French name, like Laboso. I've never heard of that. There's a lot of stuff I know about this sport, but I didn't know turn 11 was called Laboso. So you learn something new every day in this game. But yeah, I did see his tweet, and I think he'll stay. I think he'll stay at McLaren. He's got to improve, though. He's got to show some. He's got to have a performance where you go, "Wow, Daniel Ricciardo, bang!" When was the last time we went, "Wow, Daniel Ricciardo"? Like 4 years ago. Well, no. Well, he did win a race, so he did win a race. That was a bit harsh, but. I think he'll stay. But yeah, final minute then, FP1. Leclerc's time not been beaten. 33.9. Looks like Leclerc's going to be fastest in this session. Just under a tenth quicker than Max Verstappen. It's really close, top two. I don't think Mercedes would be happy with this. Alexander Albon would be happy, though. Up there in 8th. What? I mean, someone was saying in the comments before, why is Latifi top 10? I was like, nah, he won't be top 10. And now we've got Albon P8 at the end of the session. It's a good sign. I mean, whether he'll be 8th at the end of qualifying tomorrow afternoon is a different story. But P8 in Friday practice 1, it's not a bad thing, is it? What's going on with the barge board of the Red Bull? Is it loose? They're messing with... That sounds so wrong, doesn't it? They're messing with Max Verstappen's barge board. Ooh. Oh, they've put some gaffer tape on it. Maybe it's cracked. Maybe the barge board on the side of Max Verstappen's car is cracked. And they've just stuck some silver gaffer tape on it, as you do in this multi-million, billion-dollar sport. You can't beat a bit of gaffer tape. Well, quick fix, innit? Quick fix. Stick some gaffer tape on it and you can just send the car out immediately, innit? So De Vries has done pretty well. He's not made an embarrassment of himself, has he? He did go extremely wide on one of the first couple of laps he did, and hopefully he's not damaged the floor of Lewis Hamilton's car. But no, Nick De Vries has done pretty well. P9. beaten by Alex Albon. But in the top 10, and what, half a second slower than George Russell. Not too bad. He'll be happy with that. Will Nick De Vries, valuable experience as well. But yeah, that's it. That is it for FP1 as Charles Leclerc waves to don't know who. His mum in the crowd. I don't know. There's nobody on that back straight. But yeah. Leclerc fastest in FP1 it is then. He's waving to the crowd. But yeah, that's about it, guys. Yeah, that is about it. Join me in... Well, what time is it now? 2 o'clock. Join me in 2 hours. I'll be live at 5 to 4 UK time for FP2. You know, the excitement continues. But if you're not going to join me for FP2, you know, tune in for the qualifying on Saturday tomorrow afternoon, and then the full Grand Prix on Sunday. If you have enjoyed the stream, please do drop me a like. It helps, you know, it helps the channel get noticed, helps me grow. Obviously, I'm new on the scene, need all the help I can get. I appreciate everyone in the chat, everyone that's interacting, you know, everyone that's found this stream. If you have found it, you know, if you're a Formula One fan, get yourself subscribed. I'm live every single qualifying and every single race. But that's it for now. Yeah, no worries, Chris. I'll see you in a couple of hours if you're joining for FP2. And yeah, bye for now, guys. Appreciate you all, honestly. Peace out, guys. See you later.